What up, Cage Siders? It's your boy Sean coming at you. Let's do that. Hey, look, it's all of me. It is a Tuesday, and Gino's on vacation. That's why I look like this, because I'm tired. But I didn't want to get out of the habit of doing a video talking about Raw, stuff like that, so I'm going to do a quick video, talk about Raw. Bring it back under the Like a House of Fire banner, which has been on hiatus for a while because I've been talking to Roscoe and Roth and those dudes. But this is just me, and maybe a cat drive by. So that's why it's Like a House of Fire. We're going to keep it brief, run it down. Yeah, so Gino's on vacation this week, a much-deserved vacation. Thank God for Bill Hanstock, who is on the team and covered Raw for us last night with his usual, dose of positivity. That dude should be in the New Day. I don't know if he plays trombone. We should find out. And Bill and I were talking about this last night in virtual office. That I kind of wish I could, be as positive about the product as he is. There you go. Called it. She can't. The camera beckons her. That I wish I could be as positive as he is, because I think I try to be. I try to not just, I don't want to watch it to be miserable. So, and there's always something to like. So why was this Bill's platonic ideal of a Raw, and for me just another of a Raw? That's what I'm here to tell you. So we start with, let's run it down. I got the Bacon Strips live blog pulled up here so I don't miss anything. It was a Seth Rollins promo. Hey, there's something original, and I think that's part of it. You invest in 3 to 10 hours of this stuff a week on average, and it's just the same stuff over and over again. So Rollins comes out and talks for a while. It reminded us of his feuds. That he's going to fight Sting. He's going to fight Cena. He thinks he's awesome. Sheamus actually came out and threatened to cash in, which I routinely have been forgetting that he owns a briefcase that entitles him to a WWE World Heavyweight Championship title shot at a time and place of his choosing. So that's good, I guess, but this was just the least creative way possible to do it, and it sort of plays into what are not Seth's strengths at this point, which is he's a capable promo, but he's not he's not Austin, he's not The Rock. You're not going to tune in to see him talk, even just to hate on him. He really is, for me, he's very much what Triple H was in 2004, which is a guy that I knew was going to talk for a half an hour a show, and that I dreaded that. Not because I was looking forward to watching. I guess, does it accomplish that I want to see somebody kick his ass? Yes, it does that. But not, I should be more entertained. I shouldn't have to suffer for 30 minutes to get that reaction. Steph and Triple H backstage, that happened. I guess, we're building to Triple H versus Seth, and that's fine. I'm not against that idea. I think they're drawing it out too much, and they're putting too much on us to figure it out. I'm not an idiot. I don't need them to paint by numbers every single angle and everything, but I do like to have some confirmation of what's going on, or sprinkle some things in there that might not be where you're going to throw me off. That's fine too. I don't want it to be 100% fantasy book storyline. That's my problem with going back to, Big Pale's awesome job retrofitting the Undertaker Lesnar angle back before WrestleMania 30. It shouldn't fall on an internet writer to do that. It shouldn't fall on me as a fan to do that. So anyway, so that happened. Divas Revolution, tenuous thumbs up. I'm not thrilled that Sasha is not the middle of it, because she's my favorite pro wrestler today, certainly my favorite WWE pro wrestler, and I don't like her not being, the whole fucking show. But she is getting a role in it while they sort of scale back and focus on Paige's dissension from PCB and Charlotte's feud with Nikki, which is a good thing. Trying to get 9 people over at once was a losing proposition to begin with. Trying to do it while nobody was a heel or a face was a problem, so they've corrected that. They've brought the title into it. They have a heel, Nikki. They have a face, Charlotte. They have some wild cards in Sasha and Paige. It's progress. Can they still fuck it up? Absolutely, but maybe they won't. I don't know. I have to watch anyway, so I might as well be somewhat optimistic. Let's see. Dean and Roman beat up the Ascension, which makes no sense to me. They mentioned Cosmic Wasteland, Victor and Connor's new thing with Stardust, but I mean, yes, they're lackeys and they're gonna get their asses handed to them often, but this in no way tied into like a plan of Stardust's or made them look like anything but jokes. So it use somebody else here. Where the fuck is Heath Slater? Trot him out with Adam Rose. I don't know. There was no need for this to be the Ascension. I mean, yeah, the announcers mentioned Cosmic Wasteland several times, which I guess is good, but whatever benefits you get out of that is canceled out by the fact that they got squished. So, worst ever Ryback promo. I don't know what to tell you. I've never been enamored with this dude. I know he's got his fans. I sometimes think that they are ironic in their appreciation of his skills, but this was a bad promo. But it sets up Kevin Owens, being a jerk and chewing on his apple while interrupting said promo, and that's fine with me. I'm sort of looking forward to seeing what Owens can do with Ryback. Hopefully he doesn't get hurt. I'm just sort of kidding about that. And, hopefully they put the belt on Owens. I don't think Ryback's done anything for it, and if they want to get back to, I guess the only reason I would be hesitant, well, Ryback hasn't gotten too hurt with it, so the only reason I'd be hesitant is, rumors of an IC title curse, but if they want to get back to a fighting champion thing, like that being the work rate title, Owens would be a good guy to put it on. The champion versus champion match with Seth Rollins. This is the kind of thing, one thing that Hanstock and I were chatting about last night is WWE gives this stuff away too often. It was an alright match for a Ryback match. It was just there to further the Sting thing. He interrupted from the Titantron. I always like to say I get made fun of for that because I'm old and I had a TV that said that once. From the Tron, Sting interrupted, put his mask on the statue because we're getting Joker Sting here in case people weren't aware of that, which I love because I'm not a big Sting fan, so why not just have it be like the most ridiculous version of Sting ever. Other people probably, as they say, your mileage probably varies on that. I like Joker Sting because I don't care about Sting. So there you go. Anyway, another non-finish in the third match in like an hour and a half worth of a show. 2 non-finishes. It was all right. Whatever. What happened? It led to the greatest segment of all time, which is the kazoo trombone battle between New Day and Edge and Christian, where Xavier Woods played the music that plays when you win a battle in Final Fantasy VII, which is about when I tapped out of being a gamer, because again, old. That was awesome. I just loved everything about this. That sets up an actual like play-in game for. I know it doesn't really. I guess it doesn't make sense. The champs have to fight twice, but the New Day can do something good with that. I'd still like to see either the New Day heal it up, or based on the crowd reaction and the internet reaction, turn those guys face and let the Dudleys be heels, because I think the Dudleys are better as heels. But we'll see how that goes. Still, great segment, really awesome, and loved it. And then everything was horrible again because we went back to the TMZ angle. And I don't care. Summer and Rusev made up. Dolph called them liars. I don't know. Lana wasn't there because she hurt her hand. This really can't. At one point, I was excited for this because at least it meant Rusev-Ziggler matches. I don't even think their chemistry is that phenomenal. Or they've just burnt that bridge with me because they do double countouts and stupid shit, and I don't care. Speaking of which, then we had Orton Sheamus, which was perfectly acceptable, but I don't know what it does for either man. Orton wins, so the guy that you just set up in the beginning as a legitimate, WWE championship potential person got beat clean after another long, slow Orton Sheamus match. I think these guys would have been like the bomb in like 1984. This thing could have main event the Garden in right before the Rock and Wrestling era. It's not right at this point. And I sort of felt like Orton, this was a mailing it in performance from Orton a little bit, which he tends to do with Sheamus, which is part of my problem with it. Certain people dig it. I'm not one of them. Wyatt family attacks afterwards, either setting Orton up as the third man in Ambrose reigns or eliminating him from contention. Problem is, I don't care. I really hope that is Sheamus. Or not Sheamus. Bad Sean. I really hope that's Cesaro or possibly Neville as the third man there. So anyway, those are my dream picks there. We'll talk more about Cesaro in just a second. The Matadors turned on El Torito. I guess that happened. I don't know. They've been saying Los Matadores are due for a gimmick tweak, and I guess this might be it. El Torito hanging out with the Dudleys could be awesome sauce. I'm not gonna lie. Fucking Cesaro, dude. He had a match with The Miz, which is fine. It's a throwback to one of my favorite moments of all time when a heel Cesaro threw a babyface Miz, giant swinging him into the barricade repeatedly for a while. I think on Main Event, back when Main Event, remember when Main Event was a good show that they like hyped and like they had a long wrestling match on it every week? If you don't remember, that was a thing that happened, and one time Cesaro beat the pus out of Miz on that show, I think. So, throwback to that, but this was not a great match. For me, Miz is a fantastic character and a mediocre worker, and his mediocrity shows up more when he's put with somebody who's really good, like a Cesaro, as opposed to where I don't mind him in a match with like Big Show or Ryback. So there's that. The troubling thing for me here is that this still set up this like weird Big Show's a tweener thing where he forced a count out. They were saying on commentary that it was a win for Cesaro, but I didn't see him in the ring, so I think it had to be a double count out. That's what Bacon Strips has here. Then Show just punched Cesaro because I guess that probably makes Vince laugh. I don't know. Maybe I'm getting worked, but it feels to me like if anybody watches New Japan, my second New Japan reference here, which according to Gino will probably like send the hits for this thing into the toilet. I feel like there's like Cesaro's becoming like a Hanma character. He's everybody loves him. He gives great matches and he never gets to win. And I guess that's I don't know. As long as he keeps getting paid, I guess that's good, but it bums me out. Divas segment part 2, which is, it was a talking segment, but a few weeks back I was asking for them to do a few more talking segments with the women. So while neither Nikki or Charlotte is a particularly gifted talker, this did the job. Nikki's a heel. She was going to have a party celebrating her Divas title reign record without defending it. Charlotte comes out and says, haha, you have to defend it. They have a big brawl afterwards. Whatever. It's good. I mean, I would rather that the faces not just beat up people just because that's not a typical babyface move. It's still, and it wouldn't normally bother me if we weren't still dealing with the remnants of the all chicks or catty jealous people thing that WWE likes to book their women as, but I'll allow it. This was a decent segment. Like I said, overall, good night for the Divas Revolution. Bill and I agree about that. The main event was fine. Like I said, the New Day are awesome, and the decision to main event with them is very good because it kept me from tuning out because I'm like, well, I'm going to wait and see what Xavier Woods screams from ringside, and if we get any tricep meat or booty, don't you dare be sour. And it happened. Titus O'Neil's turned into a decent hot tag, which is me eating my words because when he was on NXT, I was like, I wanted him to not ever pro wrestle again. So I'll give him props there. The good guys win because that's what happens. But some props to Cena here as well because he's not the focal point. I mean, he's here because he's the draw, but he was not the focal point of this storyline. His United States title chase was not the big push at any point throughout the evening. So credit where it's due there. Sting shows up, pushes the statue into a garbage truck, which seems really lazy to me. There's some cool places in Baltimore where you could destroy a statue, and they didn't do it. So, yeah, I don't know. That was fine. Like I said, I'm okay with Joker's thing because whatever. But so there you go. So that was the show, and again, overall, a lot of times when they do these treading water Raws, which I really felt like this was, at least there's a great match on it that I would get excited about. There wasn't here. There were some okay matches. There was one phenomenal segment in the backstage thing, which really felt like a throwback to one of the things that I miss about the Attitude Era. I don't miss a lot of what people think they miss about the Attitude Era, but they used to do these kind of, like the Kazoo segment that became a focus of the whole night in that segment, and then on the Stone Cold podcast afterwards, which everybody should watch because that was the bomb.com. Anyway, yeah, so they used to do this they would do these goofy backstage segments where people are hanging out backstage and it set stuff up, and they should do that more often. I feel like they've gotten away from that. It's either talking in the ring or it's talking with an interviewer backstage. They should just, get over the reality area stuff and give us a few goofy segments of just heels hanging out with each other or people bumping into each other while walking around. They have more opportunity to do it with YouTube and the network and stuff now, too, so they should. But in general, yeah, just nothing new, treading water. Even the stuff that got advanced was advanced in the most boring ways possible. Like I said, with Seth Rollins talking for 20 to 30 minutes. I lie. I would rather they do Silent Sting, Badass Sting, than Goofy Sting. I like the statue stuff, but I think he should have been menacing and not goofy while doing it. Gino will undoubtedly have more to say about that when he gets back. So yeah, I didn't hate this Raw. I don't usually hate it. Like I said, I can usually find something that I like, but I feel like it's just meh. And there's no reason for that. There's ways to try different things, to at least try to be interesting. And I don't feel like they do that often enough. So I end up kind of bored. I end up spending more time. I enjoy my time on Twitter during Raw more than I enjoy my time watching pro wrestling / sports entertainment. And that is a bit of a bummer for me. So I didn't hate it. If I had to grade it, I don't like the grade thing, but that's the gimmick. That's what draws people. People like the grade so they don't have to read or listen or watch. I'd probably go C-, C, I guess. I don't know. It was totally middle of the road for me. So that's what it was. We will be back with more Cage Side Live when I have more people to talk to. Probably could have called Matt, but I don't. I'm worried he's still upset about Zara. So anyway, love you guys, and that's your alternate Raw take for the week. And next week you'll probably have to go back to just having one Raw take, and you'll just have to do something like deal